Hello there everyone, I am Pepino back playing more Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. And this is the Lunar Orbiter Mark III. I have built it quickly and I'm now going to explain what it is. And our goal is obviously going to be to orbit the moon, do some science experiments with Bob here, who will be able to then reset them. And then hopefully he can fly this thing, being that he's a scientist. I think he should be able to. I don't know, but either way, hopefully that'll work, and we will be able to do some experiments. We've got some goo canisters up here in this little cargo bay, and the only part of this craft that will be returning to Kerbin is the science experiments and the capsule. There's a heat shield right here with a decoupler that we will hopefully be able to use, and I'm thinking if we go cockpit last this time instead of leading with the cockpit when we return from orbit, that'll hopefully stop it from disintegrating, because yeah, we don't want that again. That was just a whole big ordeal that we want to be able to avoid. So with that in mind, I guess we are ready to save this and try it out. Actually, no, we're not. First, we need to go and take that mission to return from lunar orbit to Kerbin, because that is going to be our goal. And hopefully that works. Okay. So, what is the visual surveys of Kerbin? How do we do that? Oh. Okay, so we would need to do all of these things, and I don't know where Elsa's notch is, I'll be honest. So, we'll figure that out later. We want to take this. Our objective is bring a vessel that was in a stable orbit of the moon back to the surface of Kerbin. And we are going to accept that contract. Let's see. And we want science data from space around the moon. We are going to be getting that, so we should accept this contract too. Our objective, transmit or recover scientific data from space around the moon. Alright, so there we go. Those are our two contracts for this mission, and we will take our Lunar Orbiter Mark III and hope it can get it done. And that's going to be the goal, basically. Do the same thing that we did with Jebediah, except for a little different ending. We don't want to crash horribly and destroy everything at the end. We would like to be able to return it all. So, we will save this, make sure we got Bob going up there. Okay, let's get ready to launch. Okay, here we go. Should we warp a little bit until it's daytime? Just so that it's a little bit better view for you guys watching the video. Okay, there we go. We got daytime. Oh, we can't use SAS when we don't have pilots aboard. That is certainly going to be a problem. We may have to rethink this whole thing here. Alright. What if we go revert this flight to the vehicle assembly building? And I think we're gonna just have to make some adjustments and fly this with Valentina rather than with Bob. So what I'm gonna do is, in order to make sure we get all of this stuff, I'm going to add a second Mr. Science right there. We will add more parachutes to that. There we go. And we're gonna open up this service bay here. And let's see. We want to get this, and let's get 4 of them. That'll be enough, I'm sure. Okay, so we'll close that now, and this time we will remove Bob and put Valentina, because I'm guessing having control of your ship is going to be pretty important. So we're going to have to wait until we can take multiple Kerbals up before we take Bob, or any other scientist for that matter, up into space. Okay, so just to make this a bit more stable now, we're going to put some struts right there. And yeah, put a couple more right to there. Okay, so that'll keep things stable. Hopefully this will all be able to return in one piece. Yeah, I think we're ready. Okay, so save. Valentina is flying. Let's launch. Okay, so just a moment here. It will load, and we'll be ready to go. We're gonna maybe have to time warp up again to daytime. That's okay though. Time warp a bit. Whoa, what the? No! Why would it physics warp? Alright, we're going to revert to launch and not do that, because that's not supposed to happen. For some reason, when I tried to time warp, it switched to physics warp, and remember how I mentioned physics warp can sometimes lead to your ships, you know, blowing up? That is what I meant there. Well, no, stop physics warping. Time warp. There we go. Let's time warp around to daytime. There we go. Alright. Valentina is ready. We can engage our SAS. And I guess just hope that this works. Let's go! We have blast off there. We are going pretty stable so far, which is a good thing. And I'm hoping that we have enough fuel for this. Oh, one thing I should probably do that I did not do is disable. No, we don't want to decouple that. Oh, maybe there is no crossfeed to disable. Okay, because we have an engine there, so that should be fine. We shouldn't use up all the fuel in our top stage with these bottom stage engines. That's what I was worried about. Okay, so we are screaming up through the thickest part of the atmosphere now, and Valentina looks pretty happy about that. It is taking a little bit, but that's okay. Alright, so ready to ditch the solid fuel boosters and then start doing our turn. No, 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 come back, come back, come back. No, that's not good. Alright. We are going to revert this to launch and try that again. Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing that. This is getting too difficult for me. If I waste money and crash every time I mess up a little bit, we are going to go broke. So we are going to try this again. Okay, so there is daytime. We have warped around, and we are ready to try our launch. There we go. We will watch Valentina. She looks very happy about this. Much happier than she probably would have been about the last flight. So that is good, and we know not to do such a steep turn. I forgot. I'm still getting used to this new aerodynamic model for the game, which is apparently much better. But you can't just do the things that I'm used to doing, which is like things like turning over sharply and things like that, because you'll just spin out and it'll cause lots and lots of problems. Probably good that they've updated this and made those things not possible, because yeah, makes the game much more of a challenge. Okay, so we are ready to ditch the solid fuel boosters there, and we will slowly start to turn over. No, come back. Stop that. Why is it taking... Okay. Alright. This is okay. We just have to do it very slowly, that is all. Until we get up to the thinner parts of the atmosphere. Then we should be able to get over a little bit farther. Like now. Now that the atmosphere is thinning out, we will hopefully not spin out horribly if we tilt over onto the 90-degree mark here. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's leave it like that. Let's take a look at map mode, and we are going to make it out into space without too much issue. So, let's just turn over a bit. We will slow our throttle down a little bit so that we can save fuel in this stage, because I don't want to get to the last engine stage until I absolutely have to. So, we will ride these guys as long as we can and hope that we've packed enough fuel along with us to actually complete this mission. Because I don't actually know if we did or not. I have no idea. So, here we go. We will burn this way to extend our orbit out. And we're going to run out of fuel pretty darn soon on this stage, so then we will be on our last final engine. So that's going to have to completely get us up into orbit, as well as take us to the moon and get us back. So if it's going to be able to do that, I'm not really sure, but hopefully. Okay. So let's just start burning this way. How fast are we using up this fuel? Pretty fast, considering how little we have and how long we have yet to go. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'll be honest. We may have needed more fuel. I would have liked to have more solid boosters, but whenever I get to the second stage of boosters, or solid boosters, that seemed to be when things would start to go bad, and we would get things like spinning out crazily and just losing tons and tons of fuel that way. So we avoided that this time, but I still don't know if it's going to be enough. Who knows? But Valentina is going to have to take the risk. It's the risk we are all going to have to take. But mostly Valentina. Okay. So extend this orbit out as much as we can here. And we really don't have very much fuel at all. This is gonna be an issue. Oh well, we're gonna have to try it. We will just have to try it and see what happens. Okay, so kill that once we get up into actual space. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that is the smallest amount of fuel that we could have used, pretty much. I mean, not really, but that's as much fuel as we had to use to get up into orbit. Now, we need to be as fuel efficient as possible the rest of the way through, which, without maneuver nodes, I don't know how well I'm going to do, but, yeah, it's alright. We'll figure it out. I wonder what you have to do to get maneuver nodes. I wonder if you need like a... I don't know. Would you need like a high-level pilot, or would you need like an engineer on board, or a scientist on board or something? Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe you just need to upgrade your facilities in some way. I don't know, I should probably figure that out at some point soon. Okay, where is the moon actually? Oh, it's over there. So we got a ways to warp around until moonrise, and that is when we will start burning. Luckily, it's going to be like right at our periapsis, which is going to be the most fuel efficient way that we could actually do this. So that is one stroke of luck that we have had here. Okay, so we should flip around to face prograde and stop ourselves, and then warp a little bit more until we see the moon. There it is. Okay, now let's get to the prograde and just start burning, I guess, and hope that this is enough. Full throttle ahead, and yeah, we will just let this go and extend out. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be pretty darn close, I think, as to whether or not we're going to get this. But I wish we could just tell when we would have the moon encounter, but we can't. So we have to just kind of cut our stuff there. And let's extend it a bit farther and hope that that works out, I guess, for a lunar encounter. Alright, so that is that, Valentina. Let's get you out to the moon, I guess. Should we quick save? Maybe? Just so in case we need to come back and correct if we really mess this up. Let's do it. I don't know if I'll use the quick save, but again, if we fail this mission, we're going to lose lots of money, and our career mode may be over. So, depending on how bad it is, we may just want to use the quick save. Okay, so we will warp all the way out here and hit our lunar encounter hopefully pretty soon. There it is. Oh, we may have done a bit too well with this. We are facing directly towards the moon. Gotta fix that. Cannot crash into the moon. We can do a very low flyby of the moon, but I am not going to be up for crashing into it. Now, this is going to launch us out into the Kerbin system pretty fast if we do that low of a flyby past the moon. Now, our goal was to get into orbit around the moon. That is the other thing. I don't know if we're going to have the fuel for that. That would be tough, I think, at this point. But should we maybe try it? And if we don't think we can get out of orbit, we'll have to do a rescue mission. Yeah, that'll probably be what we're going to do. Okay, so we will observe the materials bay and keep that data. Then we will check the mystery goo and do an EVA report. Okay, let's open this up and observe the mystery goo there. Keep that data. And let's get you out on EVA. Keep that data and get back on board. Okay. So that is a lot of science right there. Now we are going to warp down to very near the moon and do all the experiments again. Here we go, coming in pretty darn close. Alright, so here's our low flyby. And I think we're going to want to burn retrograde rather, a bit once we are at our periapsis. Because otherwise we're going to shoot way off into space, I think. And we don't want that. So we will get down to our lowest point, which is going to be 9,000 meters. That is very low indeed. Okay. Are we considered close to the moon yet so that we can do more of these experiments? I would have to imagine this is considered close to the moon. Let's see. Space near the moon, okay. We will keep all of this data. We will do a crew report from here. There we go. And we'll hop out on EVA and do an EVA report. Okay, sweet. So we get EVA reports, we get different biomes. So that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll hop out and do another EVA report soon. Can we observe the mystery goo? Is it any different? We'll keep it anyway, just in case we get the little extra science for it. Okay. Should we do another EVA and see if we can get another report from a different biome? Oh, nice. Midlands. Keep that data. So we are getting just tons and tons of science now on this trip, as long as we can actually get it back. Alright. Don't need that because we have the Midlands already. And there was our periapsis, so we're going to want to start our burning now and slow ourselves down. Should we go for the orbit, probably? Alright, there, we're in orbit, and that didn't take too much fuel. So now, we have a stable orbit around the moon, and if we return to Kerbin at this point, that should meet our goal. Let's do another EVA and see. No, we already got that, so we're going to have to dump it. Alright, that's fine. Let's turn around now onto prograde and do a bit of a burn to get out of this orbit. There we go. Okay. So hopefully that path, whatever it's going to lead us to once we leave lunar orbit, isn't going to be too terrible, and we'll have enough fuel to return to Kerbin. I think we're going to be able to make it. I think we should be able to. It shouldn't be too bad. So, let's warp on out of here. Valentina, you have done remarkably well. Let's do one more biome check, maybe. No. Alright. We will warp ahead a bit. Try another EVA, just because we don't want to miss out on any science that we could possibly get. Try one more. And we're not going to be able to get that. Okay. Let's activate that last goo container. And then we'll close up the bay here. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, it's over here. There we go. Alright. We will observe the mystery goo. Keep that and close there. Okay. So, that is good. And let's just now time warp until we leave the moon.